And we're live. I see it. I see it. Okay, cool. Let's make the chat bigger. Let's get this link and we'll share. We're live. Red circle, red circle, red circle. And then we... Oh, wait. Yeah, the link. The link. That'll do it, right? You need the link. Okay. Now we'll share with people. And I'm sharing the link with everyone. Blah, blah, blah. I stuffed up where I was singing and I can't, I can't recover. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. No one on Steam. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Let's go over to OBS. I'll get a quick drink of water and we'll start the sucker. This way, capture. Oh, that's weird. Why isn't that on? What? Oh, that's very weird. My display capture was on the wrong monitor. How very odd. Well, we fixed that problem. Okay, let us begin. Okay, hey folks, welcome to this Saturday afternoon stream. Well, I was off last Saturday, you may have noticed. The reason for that was the day before, I had stubbed my toe walking towards this chair here. I kind of tripped, toe hit the chair, and I pulled a muscle in my back. Woo, getting older. Yay. Oh yeah, I should go back to the chat, see if anyone's in. Oh, Drew's in. Hello, Drew. Can't stick around for long. Sleepy today. You got sick, you're still recovering? Ah, well, it's nice to see you anyway, Drew. I hope you recover well. But back to the story. Yeah, so pulled a muscle on my back. I was able to alleviate the pain over Saturday and Sunday. Was planning to stream today, but so maybe it's just me, but for a while now, you know, I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. It just seems to happen. So that happened this morning around 4 a.m. Fair enough. But for some reason, have no idea why, I could not get back to sleep. I did that thing where I'm just tossing and turning, keeping my eyes closed. I didn't want to get up and kind of do stuff because I'm of the mind that even with your eyes closed, just lying there, rest is better than nothing. And what usually happens when this does happen, because, you know, I've suffered kind of with insomnia all my life. What happened was after seemingly forever of tossing and turning, I did end up go back to sleep. But then I woke up way too late, and this whole morning has been a mad scramble to get going. So I definitely wanted to stream. It just, I guess it got pushed back till 2 instead of 1. We'll probably only play till 4 again, so the stream will be 2 hours today, but we'll see how we go. So I guess without further ado, I'll turn my controller on and we'll play Kentucky Route Zero. Hopefully with very few technical difficulties today. So Drew, how's that video coming along? Cardboard computer. Kentucky Road 0. Now, when we ended last session, we were playing through the computer, Xanadu, playing a version of Colossal Cave Adventure, which showed the history of the people who created the computer and the strange distillery men that they ran from. So, now I believe since we finished the program, we were going back to talk to Donald, who was the project lead. 90% done except for the big animation for the end, a bunch of little things that'll take me like an hour to do. Cool. So maybe this following week it'll be out. Maybe. That's got to be exciting. I find, the closer a video is to completion, the more excited about it I am and the more I work on the project. It's going to animate tonight, but my wrist hurt. Yeah, you gotta, Okay, we can talk to Lula? Oh, wait, Lula's here. Why is Lula here? Well, let's go talk to Lula. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We found your doctor. Oh, good. Yes, you're looking not well, to be honest. You smell like a distillery. Have you been drinking? So Shannon looks uneasily at Conway. Conway looks at the floor. We've been looking for you. Yeah, let's just ignore that. So you found the address data? Just passing it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it? How long does this take? Wasn't the Bureau here? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. That should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to... I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just market private materials for the attention of Senior Clark Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge. Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Sentimental. Now we too recede into history. Good night, Donald. To Shannon, meet me at the Bureau and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around, and it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Quietly, between us, I think you should drive. Yeah, Conway's not doing well. I'm controlling Shannon now. But she can't really seem to go anywhere, so we'll go to the gate, I guess. I do like how this is kind of like a central, the room kind of rotates around the fire. And the music's starting to kick in. Will it be the banjo players again? I think it will. Hey, Homer's there. Oh, we gotta talk to Homer. Oh, someone's here. Oh, Johnny stayed with Homer. Interesting. What happened up there? I'm actually not sure. Very mysterious, ma'am. Thanks for waiting, Homer. We were gone a bit longer than expected. It'll be okay, Homer. Oh, that's ominous. Well, it is very close to the end of Act 3. They head back into the night. So I think it was it counterclockwise till we hit the cathode ray? I think it was. And there's the cathode ray. The sprocket. It is now time when sprockets then be dance. Did I do that joke last time I came across the sprocket? The bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. The wheelbarrow. The tin hat. Scarecrow. Huh. This is like Oz. This is. There's the bureau. Act 3, Scene 11. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Yeah, something's definitely up with Junebug. All that mechanical noise when she's walking. Conaway isn't looking too good there, is he? Oh yeah, I take probiotics daily, Drew, and I try and have, like pickles or yogurt or some kind of food quite often too. Really good for your gut health, which is, very important for everything else. And definitely, yeah, if you got food poisoning, your gut biome is just kind of evacuating itself, so you definitely need to replenish. They're not the best. I buy a lot of those like multivitamin gummies, just because I can't swallow tablets, and most of the just chewable stuff I find too chalky and disgusting. So like the gummies are probably full of sugar and probably not that good for me, but better than nothing, right? Here we are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Oh yeah, Junebug hasn't been here yet. Nice place. It is, isn't it? Sometimes I forget. The acoustics in here have a way of grinding one down. Oh, capsules. Oh yeah. See, here's the worst part, because I can't swallow tablets. When I do get, like antibiotics or even like last year when I got this really terrible flu that could have been COVID. I'm not sure, but a really bad flu. I got the day-night tablets. You take 2 or 3 sets during the day, and they're your basic cold and flu tablets, and then the night ones have antihistamines and other stuff to make it easier to sleep. And they're small circle tablets, a bit chalky, but you're supposed to swallow them. They taste terrible. So, either I have to buy a soda so I can munch them down and wash it down with the soda, or I hide them in like a spoonful of peanut butter. And even with the peanut butter, it doesn't match the taste of just how terrible they are. Capsules are even worse, because then you have to chomp through the horrible plastic crap as well. Results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald's assistants were able to sort through the noise. Are you feeling better there, Drew? Like food poisoning. Oh, that can wipe you out. Story time. When I was in Seattle studying animation, I got Campylobacter, which is the chicken version of E. coli. And funnily enough, I got that from eating at a McDonald's and getting quarter pounder, which is not chicken. But that was nasty. That set me back for like 2 months of recovery. It was only like the first few weeks were really bad. Like I had to be next to a toilet like every 10 minutes. It was horrendous. But luckily, every bout of food poisoning I've had after that has been kind of the 24 to 48 hour variety. I actually haven't. No, well, it wasn't food poisoning. I had some lactose a few weeks ago when I ordered lactose free. And that wreaked havoc on me that evening, but that wasn't really food poisoning. But yeah, I haven't had true food poisoning in quite a while, thank goodness, because it's never pleasant. Never. But anyway, I hope you're feeling better. Let's continue with the game. Results just came in by courier. Good news, Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. So I got a stomach bug last year and threw up 3 times within like 6 hours, which bruised my ribs. Oh, this time I vomited and I feel better immediately other than being muscle tired. Right, so whatever triggered your response, you got rid of it almost immediately and now your body's just recovering. Well, that's good. I mean, it sucks that you had to go through that, but, recovery, woo! I had Rick cross-reference the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River app. Yeah, probiotics will really help that out. And, you can never eat too many. So if you like pickles or sauerkraut or yogurt or miso, I'm trying to think of other probiotic-rich foods. Rye bread, I believe, has probiotics in it. Sourdough, maybe. There's a bunch of them. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. Ah, yes, the Echo River Ferry. I had to go to my supervisor and be like, I threw up like a 2-year-old. Oh, dear. Good yogurt. Good. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive, and I like to be ready. Ha! I wish I was that free. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there, did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try and stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks and deep. We're going on a ferry ride. Yeah, look how Junebug's walking as well. She's definitely a robot. Got the time, Homer? Nah, you don't care about that. Keep doing what you do, Homer. Oh, can you give me a small recap from last time? Okay, so last time, I believe you were there when Junebug and Johnny performed their song at the bar, weren't you? That was kind of the highlight of, it's one of the big highlights of the whole game. And after that, we were driving on the Zero. We had to find the Zero again because the whole arc of the game is trying to find 5 Dogwood Drive. So on the Zero, we found Xanadu, that computer in the middle of nowhere with the big fire in the middle. But Xanadu wouldn't work, and Xanadu was going to help us get back to the Bureau, which we needed to find a way to continue on to the Zero. So apparently the distillery, which scares the people who worked on Xanadu, are very close by. So we went into the graveyard to talk to the boys at the distillery. Now, Shannon and Conway went to do that while Ezra, the little boy, and Junebug stayed behind. And we just stayed with them, so we don't know what happened in the distillery. Shannon and Conway came out, and obviously something has happened because they're both a little bit different. Anyways, they learned how to fix Xanadu. We played Xanadu's adventure game, which told us the story of how Xanadu was made and everything that happened there. And then Lula showed up. Basically, that's where we started today. Lula showed up and said, hey, well, Donald can crunch the numbers for you, so come back to the Bureau and we can get you on your way to find 5 Dogwood Drive. And she just said, you'll have to take the ferry. And I don't know if you remember, but Conway's leg there, the flashing leg, is because in Act 1 he hurt it in the mine, and we went to the doctor, and now he's in debt, which I always took the flashing skeleton as a metaphor for being in debt. But, you know, if you remember the entertainment, that play we watched, the director of that play was a complete flashing yellow skeleton. And the play in the bar, they were talking about how weird the boys from the distillery are and how scary they are. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows. All right, what happened? What? In the church, at the graveyard. You two came out of there all weird. What happened? Yep, now we get to find out what happened in the graveyard. It's okay, you can tell them. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we were in that graveyard. Diddly-doo, 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 diddly-doo. This is one of the most interesting parts of the game, just in terms of player agency. Where the strangers come from. Ominous. I love how this game looks. So stylized. Itchy nose. Oh, that's right. Control them. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Okay, I'll stay with them. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. We can sit. The church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flexed by unknown boot heels. Oh, you hear that just in the background? I don't know if it's coming through on the stream, but just kind of an ominous kind of drone. I don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... What did you find down there? When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation. She was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly, ran away, but we thought... What was she doing on TV? That's the part that I can't... I'd flipped past that channel a dozen times before my tests. It was one of those public access things. Some old lady reading poetry. And then the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are blank, kind of gray. There's tape on the walls like markings and desks. A classroom, maybe? The camera's in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room. There's Weave right in the center of the picture. I hear the static as well. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. Ooh, the static's a little high-pitched for my liking. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted, fuzzy. Shannon coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? I hadn't noticed. Maybe it's me. I'm kind of allergic to... What the hell is that? Did you hear that? Must have been the church settling. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. What's that old Shadow Warrior joke? Man who fart in church, sit in own pew. Oh, I'm controlling the skeleton now. Well, look at that. Look how he creates an after image as he moves. Do 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 do. Visitors. The stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room, and it's patient. Sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. I hope it didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. And look how his text is all staticky. That joke stinks. We're actually looking for some information about an old computer. You humming that makes me want to stream GoldenEye. Da-na-na-na-na. Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Some kind of factory? Yeah, maybe. But for what? Why hidden away like this? And what's that smell? Like bread. Baking bread? Please, follow me. The Shannon's demagnetizer. Makes him a little more corporeal. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, and adjust your outfits just a bit. There is some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. I'm not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only a courtesy to... Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway, just this way. It's also interesting every time the game lets you control someone else. You never really think about it too much in terms of playing a game, because, you know, most games you're only playing one character. But it's kind of a powerful tool to be able to put you in different shoes and what that means for the story in the game at large. More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relate the formula. What formula? Oh, the formula. Change our lives. Once years ago, we were as prisoners to the intricacies of our debts here. We'd have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest by hand, reassessing amortization, and leveraged asset distributions according to nightly merit decay. Amortization. I wonder what the heck that means. Then she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics and a saint-like way of speaking right through the numbers. Weaver, I imagine. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula and run it all through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us on all the necessary adjustments. Oftentimes I'll give differences between characters. I love Sonic Adventure 2 for that. Yeah, I never played 2, but I had a Dreamcast, and I played through 1 in its entirety. And yeah, just the idea of, having to play every character to 100% the game and them all being very different to play. Not all of them great, of course, but different. Yeah, really cool. It was devastating to see our revered mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides. Just thought of that. Maybe that's one reason, I talked a little about it in my NES launch lineup video about Super Mario Brothers. No, it wasn't in there. It was when I linked to my old Why I Love Super Mario Brothers video. But when I got Super Mario Brothers 2 with my NES, I never really liked the original that much. And I think part of that was because in 2, you could choose from 4 different characters, and they all played that little bit different. And it was just magical. Of course, like with Sonic Adventure and Mario, they aren't really narrative games. The controlling the character doesn't have as huge a ramification as I guess it would in an adventure game. Heck, I even remember in Gabriel Knight 3, there were sections where you played Gabriel, and then in between his chapters, there were sections where you play his assistant, whose name I forget now. And her chapters were all about researching stuff in her office while he was out walking around this weird little French town, I believe. That game had a really great story. Horrible mechanics, horrible puzzles. But, yeah, I need to cover the Gabriel Knight games one of these days. Okay, back to the game. It's so easy to get sidetracked. I actually just need to ask you about a computer. No, the orientation is all done by voice and rote. We don't believe electronics have a role in our company culture. Computers are tools. Plenty of interesting mechanical this and that ahead, though. Shall we move on? Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, I've got it bad. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, Like the computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How can you just let that fall apart? Same things narratively is in Kingdom Hearts 2. Roxas of the Star is very sluggish. When it's the sword, the combat speeds up immediately. It's very small, but I remember feeling that a lot. And if I recall, because I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2, but I've watched people talk about it on YouTube. Why am I looking at you over there? I should look in the camera. Where the whole idea is like you're expecting to play Sora, and then you start the game off with this new character who you don't know who he is, and you're like, but when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? So when you finally do get to play Sora, it's nice. It's kind of like the opposite of what happens in Metal Gear Solid 2, where you start that game as Snake, and then the game pulls a big switcheroo on you. Kingdom Hearts games, now that most of them are on PC, it might be fun to give them a go and see what I think. I did play the first one back in the day. I never beat it, but I did play it. Back when I tried to at least try every JRPG that hit the PS2. Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around eternally. What do you do here? Oh, I'm a copywriter. Text on bottles and flyers, edit copy, that sort of thing. Discerning shades and heartsick lovers have long known the taste of hard times and held in favor all over all other spirits. That was one of mine. So the trucks are just Eastaways in shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. I also noticed this guy's called Doolittle. If he could walk with the animals, talk with the animals. Brum, brum, brum. Ooh, this control is bad, but look at that. Am I able to drive right through that truck? No, wait. Well, let's go to shipping. It's a truck. Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? My thing with Kingdom Hearts is that Disney stuff pisses me off, but Kingdom Hearts is such a celebration that I can really dig it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like, if I remember, the first Disney place you visit in the first game is Alice in Wonderland. That was pretty cool because, you get to play with being little and being big and the whole off with their heads thing, the Queen of Hearts. Like, it's a good introduction, I think. Then what was it? Was it Jungle Book after that? I do remember Aladdin, and I think when I stopped playing the game, it might have been the Little Mermaid area. This is so long ago, though. I drove deliveries for an antique shop until this last run. Aha, precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. Oh, I bet you that's the, at the start in Act 1, I bet you that's the crash that we looked at. Yeah, funny car section. Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger, but if we're speaking confidentially. Well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. Oh, that's disgusting. Man, talking about it makes me kind of want to see you try them out. It would be pretty fun. What? You want me to play them on stream or do videos on them? I'd be open to either. I guess I'd just have to wait till they go on sale. I think they're still only on the Epic Game Store. And also, the Square Enix stuff rarely seems to go on sale anymore. But I'm willing to wait it out. I bought the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake, the 1 and 2, in December. That came out 3 years ago. I'm patient. I can wait. Do it on stream, lol. I was thinking about today or whether it might be fun to do. The stream is mostly narrative focused games because I think that's better to not only engage you guys out there, something to latch on to, getting involved in the stakes of the story, but I always find that more interesting. But it might be fun to play some more gameplay focused titles. I mean, something like Kingdom Hearts is kind of in the middle. That's always why I've loved Japanese role-playing games because, I grew up playing adventure games on the PC, and I loved the story-focused nature of the adventure game. And then I discovered the JRPG, and it was like, wait, this is like an adventure game, but like combat and getting stronger and things. Oh, that's excellent. So that's kind of why I love them. But, I was thinking today about maybe I could play the Dark Souls games on stream, and then you can all see me rage for weeks on end until I give up. Hey, but I did beat the first one. Anyways, this is disgusting because what he's inferring here is like if Miguel had any family, they would have to take on his debt. because, you know, all that product that was in the crashed car. So let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Oh, if you want to see some Mad Dave Drew, go into the playlist for my streams from last year. And I think it's called Rolling Out. It is in the title. It's kind of a Super Monkey Ball-esque indie game. And I was getting really, really frustrated while playing that. Like, but here's a funny thing. Like, I was aware that I was becoming angry and frustrated kind of in the back of my mind. And I understood as I was raging that it was kind of funny. So I leaned into it a bit, kind of like being able to kind of step out myself and go, this is why some of my favorite Let's Players, like a good example is Aaron from Game Grumps, his infamous rages. I imagine he probably knows what's going on in the back of his mind as he's going nuts. And he has awareness of how funny it is if he leans into it. So I kind of tried to emulate that. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 10:20 on that load. Come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave. 10:12, City Kitty. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10:09, come again. Introduce yourself. Hello? Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. Oh, pardon me. They're very well regarded here. I'm not really here for a job. 99, wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Mad Dave, Mad Dave. Oh, we can look around the truck. Well, let's look at the wipers. Control the wipers with this knob here. Duolingo fiddles with the controls. They seem to have a decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. Used to be big into Game Grumps. They kind of lost me a few years ago, but yeah, I love the Battle Kid Freakout or whatever the Mega Man clone was. Yeah, infamous Freakouts. I'm still subscribed. I watch every now and then. They covered Sam Max Hit the Road last Sunday, which is one of my favorite adventure games, so that was a delight. I'm going to enjoy watching the rest of that. You folks always clear skies down here. So I hear, but most of our product is delivered by surface roads, which feel rain quite often, particularly in the spring months, so I hear. What the heck is that? They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. Well, I just wonder what that is. Is that a memory? Let's do it. It was pointless to stay. I'll review. He was a lost cause, and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored. It was time to cut out. Shitty day for it, though. 83 and biblical flood. Huh. They went to a bar. They pulled into a dive bar with an afternoon open mic. It smelled like rose water. They smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. They poured another drink, and another, and another. She worried it was getting dark out, then it was getting light out. They ended up in someone else's field, someone else's car, an early morning joyride, and a sunrise collision. She got on the bus, and he hiked back to his car. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Ooh, that's a nice turn of phrase. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. And we're back. Let's look at the headlights. Headlights work fine, see? Fiddles with the controls. So bright. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh? Drivers sleeping today, then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Yeah, I'm going to continue to look into the memories. Hey, Wraithgull's here. Hey, Peter. Just woke up and you're already in stream. Welcome. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. Empties rattled under the passenger seat. Yeah, I'm going to lean into Conway's alcoholism, I think. He kept them over there so the smell wouldn't spread. That window was always open a crack. He had to pull over. He just needed a nap, even if he ran late. He was only human. He'd been out since the headlights were on. Didn't even stop for coffee. He cracked a beer at 3, eyes on the road. 4:30, he dodged some stray cattle. The headlights were coming back on. Rockford could wait. Early morning couldn't be much worse than late night. What could they care? He just needed a few hours. So, moving on. This truck brings back all the memories. Look at its chassis. I want to know a woman named Chassis. Oh, sure. I know you want to look at the tires. That's a thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely. A truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver, but he didn't have that quality of deference. You must worship the truck. Conway sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee, as it is. He was just waiting for it to be over. A few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action, a good orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, all the things we tried. Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He knew it was time to hit the bar. It was good to get out of the heat, away from the mendacity. He settled into it. Someone else from the meeting was here, looking rough. He focused on the television. A nature show was playing, something about river dolphins. They cruised the Amazon, eating psychedelic frogs and having weird adventures. Gonna turn in? Okay. Hope you have a good stream. I'll let you know if I stream something tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for dropping by, Drew, and I hope you feel better. At night, they transformed into attractive young partygoers and wore hats to cover their blowholes. What? Now what else can we show you? Let's look at the back of the truck. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good, strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit harder on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. Some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. I shouldn't really do any lifting these days. I see. Well, surely we can spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and safety. Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lysette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. They couldn't pull it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled about it. Lysette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along. Conway drifted out again, and he didn't hear about the accident until months later. Oh, damn. So that's what happened to Charlie. So, what's next? How you doing this morning, Peter? I mean, you just woke up, but you feeling okay? The truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's dispatch. Now, tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Yeah, we got to finish this delivery in a few. 10:33, dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10-4, back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. Conway remains silent. I feel awake. That's good. To Conway, dispatch is addressing you. To radio, he's here, dispatch. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. Silence. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? I've got one more thing to show you. Oh, this is annoying to control. I'm trying to I'm just going to click park so he can drive back. Jeez. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold. It's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see? As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air, the angel's share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel's share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff, so we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid, truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs. Also, it's interesting that his voice is coming out that little like tape recorder on his shoulder. Well, the new hires aren't here anymore. Well, I guess we'll go back upstairs. Hey, there's Earl. This is Earl. He used to be a beekeeper. Borrowed some used casks to store the hives, but the interest accrued more quickly than the honey. Now he works for us here in logistics. Conway already kind of looks like part of the scenery, doesn't he? If you don't mind. The adding machine. Here it is, a beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't. It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Vinum memore mors. So the thing... Oh, okay, it does it that way. So, when I first played this game with the mouse, which is actually showing up today, I think, like you couldn't actually move away from clicking on the drink. It would pull the mouse back in. But I guess since I'm playing with the controller, the idea is that when you don't click drink, it will automatically do it for you, which I don't think is as strong. Because finally, like when the mouse was like dragging towards the drink, eventually I just gave in and like, okay, there's no way to go forward. Oh, I just noticed. Look, Ezra's there, and so is Junebug. Huh. But yeah, this is like a pivotal moment for Conway. He was doing so well, and then he just takes a drink. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make. Okay, why isn't this working now? There we go. There we go. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's the matter of this tour just now, my time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep by my back-of-the-envelope estimations. Well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. The interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Yep, roped into debt. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Capitalism, ho. Yep. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Here comes the ferry. And that's the end of Act 3. Yep. And I think it's a good time for a break. I'll put this over here. Let's go over to OBS. Turn display capture off. I will find something to put on. What to put on? So many decisions. about some rainy Night City Detective Off Sonar Jazz Mix? Or this one. Okay, well, I'll be back in about 5. See y'all soon. And I return. Okay, let's shut that off. Let's put the display back on. I'll bring up chat again. And I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to go. Okay. Well, this is interlude 4 called Here and There Along the Echo. Oh, I need to click on that again, don't I? Okay, boom. There we go. Hope you all had a nice break. So apparently this is a real phone line that you can actually call if you're in the US. And everything is pre-recorded. God, I can hardly hear that. Probably need to go back.
For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1.
Can I turn the sound up?
Flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3.
There we go.
If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again,
Okay.
press 0.
At least let's capture.
Historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the angle of its surface over time. Some sailors blame corked rocks. Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. Tearless Rock, Island of Eusebia, Endless Island,
Oh, not Endless Island.
Island
Not Jerry's Island. Not Undocumented Island.
of
The Island of Heart Sickness. Oh.
This list is current as of now. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For secret tourism, forgotten places are
Vague, unqualified descriptions.
No roads to it. Press 1.
Town with no roads to it.
Which has its own roads, but which no other roads connect to. They send and receive mail. There is a school, and so on. But what I want to tell you about now is the horses.
The horses.
There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't say.
I wish I could speed this on a little, though. Oh, we got no data in the stream.
Nor souvenirs.
Sorry, I'll just check that out. Oh, it looks to be going fine here. What's going on?
Description.
Oh, there we go. It's just a hiccup.
Town with no roads to it. Press 1. For the silo of late reflections. Press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is. Press 3. I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to
I
forget.
wonder why the sound is so low.
Accidentally do again. There isn't a plaque or anything. Yes, we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to the Iron Pariah is just what she's called along the Echo River. Of course, she once had another name, but it's been scratched away. Maybe
Maybe I should go on to Act 4.
too sharply and left her true name on a rock. So, what else? We know she was in the war, but neither side would claim her. We don't know if anyone's aboard. She drifts along the water and commands the wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places,
Let's see what else.
for
Restless places.
press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press. Welcome home. For historical sites,
I'll have one more look along.
press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press.
That can be interesting, I guess.
For help identifying an press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4.
I am holding a snake right now.
You're probably not in any danger, but why are you holding that snake? You're involved in an exchange of some kind, press 1. If holding the snake is part of your spiritual practice, press 2. If you don't remember why you're holding the snake, press. Okay. What's the last thing you remember? Please describe your memory in as much detail as you are able, paying particular attention to any smells and sounds you may recall. Were you breathing through your mouth or your nose? What did the air taste like? And so on. Feel free to call again with extension 1618 and tell us the whole story. All right. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work on this here snake situation. But you're
Snake? Snake!
through conversation. Don't worry. I'll lead you two through it. Give that snake a name and look her right in the eyes and say her name. I'm gonna go with Delia for the purpose of demonstration, but you pick a suitable name. Try to follow along with me here to the best of your ability. Staring right back at you, press 1. If she's wriggling around, press 2. And if she's just kind of limp, press 3. Well, your snake may be asleep. It happens. You gotta wake her up. Gently now. Whisper her something pleasant. Tell her why she wants to wake up. I mean, really convince her. Oh, wait. Alright, where are we at? If the snake is breathing heavily, press 1. If she's curled around your forearm, press 2. If her tongue is extended, press 3. You just point your tongue right back at her. If hers moves left, yours moves right, and so on. Maintain eye contact so she knows you're not making fun of her. There you go. Delia should be in a kind of a calm, thoughtful state now. So you
Oh, look, I can control the receiver.
put that snake in some grass or something. Let Delia be free like a snake should. And go ahead
I
and wash
feel
your
stupid.
I would.
I had no idea I could hold it up to my...
For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and for different types of water, press 1.
Oh, different types of
language
water.
of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return, many find learning the language of bats to be intimidating. But it's really pretty straightforward. The most difficult part is getting your ultrasonic pronunciation right. See, bats have enormous, complex ears. For us, it's more of a struggle. Here, let's try some
Oh no,
useful
I'm gonna
phrases.
sneeze.
Repeat after me so you can practice.
Pardon me.
Here's how you say, I don't know where I am.
See again.
Now, a very useful phrase. It's a shame we didn't record that.
It's a shame we didn't record that because the stream was just hiccuping. How dare you hiccup?
Conversation has to end. So here's how to say, I will write that down in case I forget it later.
This is basically like an old adventure game dialogue tree.
For different types of water,
You know what?
press 1.
I'm gonna hang up now.
Bats, press 2. For insect interaction,
Come on.
3.
There we go. Cool. Ready to go? Yeah, let's go. Huh, that was Emily and Bob. Now it's time for Act 4. And the 5.4. Oh, manual? 5.4 context backlash. During wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Guess it could be slippage. If left unresolved, gear swap can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. See also sections 1.8, general troubleshooting, and 5.3, gesture context. Okay, what else is in here? Table of contents. Introduction. Installation. Orientations. Order of operations. Hey, what happened to 3? 3, the passage of time. Gestures. Final notes. That'll do, book. He throws the manual into the river. My savior. Our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't blame you, especially down here on the water. I mean, sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight? I always end up here, eventually. The river is like that, and always has been. We picked you up at the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah, have you been there? The Zero? Oh no, not me. I saw the riverette steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. Huh. Can talk to Will or talk to Kate? Let's talk to Kate first. I've already met Will. There's the dog. How's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. Still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. Bay bullet cap, then. It's in a little green box with a drawing and a moth on it. There's a jar of matake under the table, keeping cool and dark. Get a solid fingerful and let it steep with slippery elm 30 seconds, and throw it out the window. What are all those for? Eye strain. Boy bullet cap masks the taste of the rest of it. Slippery elm in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom based. I'm a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. Is that your dog? Yeah, that's Valkyrie. I call her Val. She's a rescue. Isn't she dignified? I've always thought so. Is that your cat too, below deck? Huh? I thought that was your cat. Came on board with you at the Bureau. Well, it wouldn't be the first time some strange animal hitched a ride. I hope you enjoyed the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There's some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean weird. Watch out that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here. Just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Ha-ha. Huh. Ooh. Go 360 around the whole boat. Sing quietly, for we on mold and whiskey fed and... Oh! Wet gears. Wet gears? Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried, anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound. Your trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend, you know it is, don't you? Kate was asking if you needed anything when we stop. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket? I think she meant like parts or... I wouldn't know if I did. What's your story, Will? Story? Well, I like to listen to them. I like to tell them, but I don't have one of my own. I also don't have a permanent address or a pickup truck or need a change of clothes. I washed my laundry in the river, and in that moment, I'm truly free. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artois Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor got state funding for our department. I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring the walls, or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walked without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground, then it doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river's stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drying gears, I guess. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down, it's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, so Shannon searches her pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. Oh, I'm Ezra now. Homer's up top. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concepts. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. Ezra, that was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara here came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Haha, it's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta, then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once. I remember loving it. Johnny was moved. Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts. About 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Oh, damn. Look at Conway. He's drinking, and his arm is a skeleton. I think he's got a different shirt on. Maybe he just took his jacket off. Oh, now I'm following Conway, I guess. Huh. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Fresh air? Maybe. It's homey in that cabin, though, and warm. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door, when you go into the kitchen for something, as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that breadcrumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway craned his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams, when you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Ha, ain't that the truth? Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't. And then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out, finally wind up back at Lisette's with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyway. One time she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. I came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. Told her I didn't deserve it. She said I didn't have to deserve it. She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. Oh, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. That girl was wild. Haha. I guess she's got her own problems now. I wish I could help out. Hey, maybe I could make some money and send it to her sister. Maybe they'll keep me on at the distillery, I mean. Oh, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Ugh. Looks like the echo is its own zero. Maybe it's below the zero. Sure, I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. Problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time that thing happened there. That's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Less there to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand and so on. Listening, see? Now I know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train section flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down a mall, drawn by the silo of late reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Pardon me. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Ah. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Yeah, you can choose who goes, who stays, and you'll get different stories depending on what happens. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. Running on fumes? Yeah, it's this little game I play. Try to get the needle all the way down before I fill back up. Like playing chicken with the fuel gauge. I like to think about filling up when I get to about half. But often I let it go to a quarter before I fill up. I don't like to let it go any further down. I've had the fuel light come on a couple times in the past, and that's always spooked me. Sounds ridiculous, right? Sounds fun. Take it where you can get it, right? Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Esther sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? He's nocturnal. He'd have to be with the company he's keeping. You don't have any of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. Just realized you two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. Who has the time? Yeah, sure. We've got to prioritize. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? Or it kind of roamed around, uncertain? I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, whereas the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river, not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cape moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You have never seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah. We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. Ah, I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station. Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be all right. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant that this fuel's on my tab? Charge to the Mucky Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted the scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Let's check with Johnny and Val. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? Homer came along with that old man drinking up all your beer. I'm a little worried about that guy, to be honest. Good thing he seems to be traveling with friends. So, could you fit in the sidecar? If I sat on my legs, you could crawl up in the base. She's an excellent driver. Nah, I guess it's settled anyway. Nice to think about, though. Looking for crystals? I need a scratch ticket. What kind? Junebug examines the lottery display case. The one with the grassy field on it. Money minefield, okay. Anything else? Snacks. Sure, we have snacks. We have... How about some jerky? It's homemade, not by me. You work on the mammoth? I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat? The captain, Kate, said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're here every night. It's okay, I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. Ah, here comes Conway. No, that's not Conway. He has limbs. Does it bother you? I have learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I'm definitely not forgotten. I will have people come up to me and go, Dave? And they say, you know, like they went to 7th grade with me, and I have no idea who they are. But somehow, all these years later, I'm recognizable, and they remember me clear as day. I used to live in a city. I mean a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels, in daylight. I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here to Lake Lith and the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. I like to keep moving. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I can't help it myself. Travel at the pleasure of the current. Snacks are in the back there. Let's talk to Norm. Norm! Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to sea. I was looking for you down by New Konigsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there. The river's deep as an elephant's. I've seen Junebug. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. Where are you headed? Well, in fact, I'm headed right here. Glad to have found it at last. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now. I feel a little silly. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted. Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed. How do you know Loretta? I really don't. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there. Or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife, my ex, or maybe I'm her ex, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So here I am. Didn't work out with Greta. She left me. I'm sure I can't blame her. Damn it all. I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all. My car is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography over the computer date and spent a long time on it, but I only got one reply. That was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. Spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Oh. Okay, what do you think? You'll be fine. Well, all right then. Seems like I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyway. Dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, and colorized. That attendant is a trip. Anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity, he said. Bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Oh no! What's going on, man? Well, I'm getting some drop frames. We'll see if it and everything looks fine on this. Let me just have a quick look. See if my modem's got all the lights on. Yeah. Huh. Oh, wait. No. Okay, I think it's going to stabilize. I just need to wait a minute or two more. Although it tells me I don't have DSL yet. Here on the YouTube side, it's saying that I have a good connection, so maybe it just needs to catch up with itself. I'll wait like, a minute more. But yeah, it says I don't have DSL on the modem, so that would be why things have gone nutty. But still, you'd think it'd have something there. No, oh man, everything looks fine here. Got some dropped frames. No, this sucks. Let me just do a quick refresh and see what's going on. Yeah, okay. Seems to be back. So, because I seem to be playing with fire here, let me just finish this section off. Bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn-shaped, colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets. A few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes. Potatoes. Okay. It's got a thing where, like, it won't let me click forward for some reason. Like, it needs to catch up. Well, now that I'm back, I can respond to Peter saying, Cheers reference, Dave, you're old. I am what I am. That's a Popeye reference. That's even older. Come on. What's logging? I have no idea what that means. Oh, there we go. Who knows? Maybe he's onto something. Somewhere in there is surely a preservative in case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time. Does Johnny ever feel like that? She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients. Pardon me, but only finds a marketing blurb. Inspired by real vegetables. Okay, well, we'll leave now. Bing bong. Let's go talk to Johnny. Sorry, Cricket, nothing good on offer. Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds? I didn't look. It's okay, I'll go check. Wish me luck. Good luck. Now I get to play Johnny. Oh. Look, there's like little people coming on their boats. Now Junebug can talk to Val. Did my Johnny talk your ear off out here? I suspect there are some things he can only say to animals. Huh. I guess that's just how people are. Different thoughts for different listeners. That's nice. Do you carry those little gummy pomegranate seeds? I had 3 boxes at the beginning of this week and they're all gone. Can't keep them on the shelves. To be honest, our whole inventory is pretty low right now. There's a delivery boat that usually swings by earlier in the night, but I guess something came up. Where are you headed? Hoping some new friends make a delivery, or along for the ride anyway. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting or navigating or whatever, a passenger contributes to a journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Meet some interesting people? I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. Ow! Or it's good to be among friends. Suit yourself. Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man. I'd give you any advice I could, little guy, but I think the most important thing I can say is solemnly, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Helps to keep things in perspective, I guess. It's a ritual of remembrance for me, tonight particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. You know why I say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River, alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best I could and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate, lost at sea. This phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to the very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched, right then. Couldn't have been a moment later that I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple, that fly while I was at it, put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? Now there are flies out there on the boat. Never would be. No, there are flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then, blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks, only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim light rear of some orphan insect hatched into my last rotten apple. Glory, it's good to be among friends. And that was the tale. That guy's a trip. The gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. That frog you had. Oh, I like to think he was part of the family, you know? He seemed more like a cat to me, the attendant, I mean. Oh yeah, I can see that too. Aloof, but strange and chatty. Maybe we should pick up another one. A frog or a cat or an iguana or something. Maybe a third person to travel with? Huh, now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? You and me, we're good together, safe, free, you know what I mean? We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with, what else could we be? We can keep it in mind. Let's not rush into anything. Yeah, you're right about that, ma'am. No rush. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. And that was that interlude. I'm going to wait till the next scene starts. See that small brick building? Used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago. The only trace of it now is the great framed old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below, smaller. Jeez. No specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her Aunt Ida, or it's owned by a reclusive ex-convict named Judah. Very little is known about him. His crime is generally assumed to be violent or otherwise gruesome in some detail, though of course that's all speculation, and probably comes from his association with the taxidermy business. Even though he never so much as skins a squirrel, he's more like a silent partner. I guess those are the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on. But Judah is old, he keeps to himself, and the consensus seems to be that he's paid his debt to society, whatever that debt may have been. Okay, so Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the Mammoth's video collection. Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony. I think she would stay with the TV. Act 4, Scene 3. The Mucky Mammoth. And that is where I leave things. Ephemera? What? Ah, that. Yep, okay, cool. Okay, we'll stop there. Boop, boop. Alt F4. I was about to say Act 4. Alt Act 4. So, that was a shorter stream today. We finished Act 3, got a little into Act 4. We did play through the interlude, although it took me far too long to put the phone up next to my ear. I can't remember if that got me the first time as well. It probably did. But I hope you all had fun. It was more of a quiet one today, but hey, we made progress, even though I started a little late. I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you have any games you'd like to maybe see me play on stream, let me know in the comments. And until next time, see you later, everyone.